If the heart of a nation, like the heart of its people, pumps the lifeblood that makes her live and grow, then you will find the heart of America here, in the city of Detroit, Michigan. One of Detroit's streets is named Cass Avenue. A thoroughfare is an appropriate monument to General Lewis Cass, the great territorial governor in the early years who was responsible for the first network of roads through the Michigan wilderness. There was another man who made a great contribution in the wilderness years. This was Dr. Douglas Houghton. As state geologist, he showed the way for the copper miners and iron miners. The lake boats that whistle in the river with the raw materials of civilization in their holds are extensions of his dream. As the years went by, the people of Detroit put their skills to good use on the earth treasures Houghton had found for them. As if it realized it had a great destiny to fulfill in this town, industry grew. Out on Jefferson Avenue in the yard of a big stove works, there is a kind of monument to all the stoves they've made in Detroit. Because he was a great mayor and a great humanitarian, they have a bronze statue of Hazen S. Pingree in Grand Circus Park. But he was first a successful shoe manufacturer. Shoes were a product of Detroit, too. If Pingree could turn his head to the left, he could look at the biggest shoe store in the world. Strange that this city, whose product has taken every man off his feet and put him on wheels, should boast an establishment with 10 floors devoted to nothing but footwear. Stoves and shoes weren't the only products. Through the 19th century, Detroiters were building up know-how, manufacturing bicycles, carriages, railroad cars, and marine engines against the coming of the great day. Then, in the 1890s, horseless carriage talk began to circulate around the country. Detroiters were as interested or disinterested as the average. Several men in Detroit were tinkering with these self-propelled contraptions, and the first Detroit-built car had been driven in the streets of the city. But most people didn't know what was going on down on Bagley Avenue, right where the Michigan Theater now stands. Early one morning, a man named Henry Ford, who had been building a horseless carriage in a shed back of his home, wheeled it out into the alley and started it up. The echoes of that two-cylinder motor have never died, and I guess they never will. Within a few years, they were building horseless carriages in cities all over the Northeast. But the industry caught on and grew in the town that started as a fur depot, with canoes parked at its door. The know-how was here, the waterways for the vast loads of raw materials. Foundrymen, blacksmiths, marine engineers, and carriage builders easily switched over to car building. Then, when they figured out a system of fabricating the parts and putting autos together on a moving conveyor, it set the pattern for mass production, the mass production of all sorts of wonderful products. It fired the starting gun for today and the greater days that lie ahead. Now on every highway in the land goes the work of the people of Detroit. When they go home, way out to the suburbs and beyond, they can know they have been doing the kind of job that changed the design of life for America, that moved workers' homes away from the centers of cities and scattered them out to the fringes, to lawns and flower beds, and the stamping ground of robins. They can know that they have been doing the kind of job that sprung the luxuries loose for every man. Luxuries and freedom. At the same time, branches of the auto industry have come to life in cities all the way from the Atlantic to the Pacific, on every continent of the globe for that matter. What a change has come over the strait since Cadillac's men chopped stockade pilings in the startled wilderness 250 years ago. The river is now an international boundary, the world's busiest waterway. And out in nearby Dearborn, where the Rouge River runs into the Detroit River, you could see the largest automobile plant in the world. Then, to remind us of our great past as a nation, Greenfield Village and the Edison Institute Museum. If you could make only one pilgrimage to American shrines, this institution would reward you with the greatest concentration of our national heritage. Transported to Greenfield Village from New Jersey is the Menlo Park Laboratory, where Edison lit the first electric light. McGuffey's schoolhouse. The Black Walnut Courthouse, where Lincoln practiced law. And all the other historic structures that have been saved for posterity. Dynamic Detroit celebrates the accomplishments of its 250 years, a pageant of achievement that salutes the past and hails a great future. It is the spirit of your achievements, as much as the material contribution that has gone so far and wide. Yet, in evolving the new mechanics of production, in solving the problems of your urge to success, no less than in the enrichment of the mind and the heart, the expressions of spiritual devotion, you, who are the city that grew up on the place of the straight, have served humanity.